Here's more wrestling news for August 23rd, 2022, and we're kicking off this afternoon with WWE, as in January, the company released several names from behind the scenes who all seem to have one thing in common: Triple H. Everyone released had either been hired by the game, worked closely with him, or were friends with him, but now one name is back in the company. PW Insider reports that Road Dogg Jesse James has been rehired by WWE and will hold an executive position with the company going forward. It's unclear as to what that role will be, but he's already at work and attended last night's Raw backstage in Toronto. Since being released by WWE, Road Dogg had launched his own podcast where he's been critical of both AEW's booking and WWE's booking under Vince McMahon, but has praised what Triple H has done in recent weeks. Road Dogg's return to WWE comes days after Shawn Michaels was confirmed as the promotion's vice president of talent development creative, and there's some irony that after years of mocking WWE management, D-Generation X are running the show. Road Dogg is certainly a big name for Triple H to rehire by the company, especially as it comes days after Jeff Jarrett parted ways from his role as WWE's head of live events. Jarrett was only hired to the role recently, but it has been filled by Jesse James. Brad Shepard reports that James will be taking over Jarrett's role with the company, and that the official role in question is as WWE's Vice President of Live Events and Creative. It was also noted that Road Dogg will be reporting directly to Bruce Prichard, though of course all decisions will be overseen by Triple H. There is some irony to James replacing Jarrett, as it was Double J who brought Road Dogg to the WWF decades ago as the roadie, but now it'll be Jesse James replacing his longtime friend. Earlier this year, former WWE superstar Jake Atlas was arrested and charged with battery following an incident with his boyfriend in May. At the time, it was reported that Atlas had been out drinking, and when his partner came to pick him up, turning down his offer to drink long into the night, things quickly got violent. Now TMZ Sports has released the police video from Atlas's arrest, and the ex-superstar has plenty to say. In the video, Atlas told the cops that he is a, quote, international trained superstar, and slammed his boyfriend as a nobody. Atlas's rant about his partner continues, calling the man a f***ing hardly what you want to hear from your special someone. It's worth stating that in June the assault case was dropped, and Atlas has apologized for what he did. Mere months before the incident, Atlas made his debut in AEW on an episode of Rampage, but with the video out there, we doubt we'll ever see him again in Tony Khan's promotion. Atlas clearly had an issue with his boyfriend at the time, but his partner isn't the only person who the former superstar has upset. In March 2021, WWE's Kayla Braxton came out as bisexual, and while the interviewer and host of The Bump received a ton of support, not everyone was on board. In a tweet this week, Braxton spoke about one person who decided that her big moment was a reason to mock her, and while she didn't name Atlas, she did state, "A little over a year ago, I came out publicly about my sexuality. For those who are just tuning in, I like both. Around the time I came out, a former coworker who's also gay made jokes about my revelation. Anyway, he's now the main character in my new favorite movie airing on TMZ." It's clear that Braxton is referring to Atlas, who is openly gay, and whose arrest video was uploaded to the net by TMZ. Braxton would later delete the tweet, but not before it was caught by fans online, as Jake Atlas continues to be a controversial figure in the wrestling and LGBTQ+ communities. In the 3 years since AEW has been around, the promotion has operated within the US, but there have been plans for the show to travel further. Later this year, AEW will head to Canada, and Jim Ross said that a UK tour is coming within the next year, and now the All Elite promotion is heading to Germany. In a press release, THQ Nordic, the publisher for AEW's upcoming video game AEW Fight Forever, made the announcement that the company will make their presence felt at the upcoming Gamescom 2022 trade fair in Cologne from August 24th to August 28th. Not only will attendees get to learn more about AEW Fight Forever, but there will also be a series of exhibition matches by the AEW roster, with the show also being streamed on THQ Nordic's Twitch channel. At this time, there's no confirmation as to who will make the trip to Cologne, but we're sure AEW will want to put their best foot forward on such a big stage. Gamescom 2022 will be the first time that a playable copy of AEW Fight Forever will be available for the public to try out, but only if they can pull themselves away from the action in-ring. Right now, WWE is in the process of determining their next women's tag team champions after vacating the titles in May when Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. Last Friday, Zoe Stark and Nikkita Lyons were scheduled to compete in a tournament match, but the pair were pulled from Smackdown. It was reported that Lyons had been pulled as she had been unable to enter Canada due to the country's policy prohibiting people who hadn't been vaccinated. On Twitter, however, Lyons denied the report that her vaccine status played a role, saying she one day hopes to host a live video where she can answer questions from the fans. Lyons didn't state whether she has chosen to have the COVID-19 vaccine, nor what the real reason she didn't appear on SmackDown was, if not the vaccine. Whatever the reason, Stark and Lyons are out of the WWE Women's Tag Team title tournament, and it remains to be seen who will be the new champions. Nikkita Lyons and Zoe Stark had been replaced by NXT 2.0's Jacy Jayne and Gigi Dolin, but their time in the tournament has also come to an abrupt end. Prior to Raw, WWE confirmed that Toxic Attraction had been pulled from the tournament, claiming that injuries suffered by Dolin forced the promotion to make the decision. WWE did not specify what kind of injuries she suffered, so this all could just be a storyline to get the duo out of the tournament. Instead of Toxic Attraction, it's been announced that a second chance Fatal 4-Way tag match on this Friday's SmackDown will determine who takes their place in the semifinals. That match will either see Tamina and Dana Brooke, Nikki ASH and Doudrop, Xia Li and Shotzi, or Natalya and Sonya Deville advance and get another shot at becoming the next WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. And we're ending today with Monday Night Raw, as this week's show saw Trish Stratus and Beth Phoenix on the show, and the Hall of Famers aren't stopping yet. During last night's program, WWE announced a few planned items for next week's show in Pittsburgh, including an appearance from Kurt Angle. It makes sense that Angle will be in Pittsburgh as it's his hometown, but there's no word on what the Olympic gold medalist will be doing. Next week's Raw will also be the go-home show of the Red Brand before the Clash at the Castle, so expect big things when WWE's flagship show comes to the Steel City. Over to AEW now, as CM Punk has been on a roll since joining the company last year, including winning the AEW World title at Double or Nothing. On last week's Dynamite, however, Punk went off script and chose to bury Hangman Adam Page, and has reportedly been difficult to be around backstage. Punk's attitude backstage has had some people within AEW fearing he could quit, but this isn't too surprising to Booker T. Speaking on his Hall of Fame podcast, Booker discussed Punk's comments about Page and isn't exactly shocked by the reigning AEW World Champion. "I'm not surprised. I've been in the locker room with CM Punk. Everything that we're hearing in the news right now on social media, I'm not surprised one bit. He comes back, and now we see that it's not about the wrestling. Let's just say that. It's not about wrestling at all." Despite knowing Page wasn't scheduled to appear, Punk called him out anyway and branded him a coward for no reason, so we'll just have to see how Tony Khan retaliates to his champion going into business for himself. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.